All right, guys, we are back. And I've got everything on here. I haven't even opened these bags. So when I open this, it's going to look like a complete mess because I literally was just throwing stuff back in these bags, trying to hurry up and get to this surprise party and get everything set up. But anyway, all right, we're hydrated. Let's go into it. Let me start with this small bag first. So this was a Christmas present. Better late than ugly. Super cute little makeup bag. And I'm starting to convert that other makeup bag into this one. I'm going to try to. I don't know if this one's big enough, but we'll see. This is the first thing in this bag. It's the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and it's the shade 2-in-1 Desert Beige. And I thought this one might be a better match for my sister. This is the like winter shade, you would say, for me, if I'm not self-tanned. She did not want a full coverage foundation, so we did not use this. But it's an amazing foundation, as I said previously. Then I also took the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This one's the shade N6, and it's a very neutral shade. So I thought this would be good for her skin tone, maybe even a mix of the two foundations, but again, we did not use it. Very good foundations, both love. This is the Beauty Blender, just the original Beauty Blender that I used. And you can see here, she was used a little bit. Next, I took the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Refined Zone. I used this on myself, did not use it on her, but I like to put this just where my pores are very large and visible. And it helps control the oil and shine, so I used a little of that. Next up, I took the Charlotte Tilbury Radiant Concealer, the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer in the shade 4 Fair, because I thought this would be a good shade for her under eyes, but she did not want to use this either. So we didn't use it, but it's a really good concealer. And then lastly, in this little bag, I took the AOA Soft Base Nude Eye Primer. This is one of my favorite primers to use for eyeshadow, but I did not use this. I used the MAC Paint Pot, but I packed it just in case. I took a lot of options just because I wanted her to be able to pick and not just be like, this is what we're using. She was able to dictate what she wanted for her 40th birthday look. So, all right, I'm going to unpack these things and we'll put them away after this video. All right, set aside. Need to clean the Beauty Blender. Are y'all ready for this? It's too much. It's way too much. I'll go ahead and warn you now. But when you're packing a kit to do other people's makeup, it's hard. It's hard to decide. So here we are. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so first things first, I'm going to grab this because this is the container that held the Beauty Blender. It was a new one. This is the Morphe sponge that I took because I have found that using this to set the under eyes with powder is so cool because you can get right up in there with this and just put that powder. And you could, oh my gosh, there's still powder in this. So I use this to set my under eyes, but not hers. And we'll talk about that more here in a little bit. All right. Oh, where to start? Okay, we'll go from the top. Lunar Beauty Nude Prism Eyeshadow Palette. This came in clutch yesterday because her vanity, like her bathroom vanity, hang on, my dog and cat are playing right now, so you might hear that in the background. Just warning you. Anyway, I did not have like a mirror, a handheld mirror, so I had to use the Lunar Beauty mirror. So, of course, the mirror is stunning. It's huge, but these are the shadows. Stunning. So I did my eye look with this palette. I'll pop up a picture to show you what it looked like. I used these two shades here, and then I used Vibes and I'm Shy, and then I used Expose and Laura. Those are the shades that I used for my look. Love this eyeshadow palette. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. All right, so this I took because her complaint whenever she does wear full coverage makeup or just foundation in general, concealer, is that it looks dry and cakey and like creasy because her skin is complete opposite of mine. Hers is very dry, and so I was thinking I could take this, which is called the Mally Face Defender, and you can see it's gross right now because I just used it yesterday, but what I used this for was to set her under eye and a little bit of her like T-zone instead of using powder, because this is actually what this is. It's like powder, no powder. So it's going to like blur and smooth your skin, and but it also sets your skin. Like it'll set your foundation. So it acts as a powder, but it's not. It's a really cool product. I've been learning how to use it. It's unique, and I'm glad I took it because it actually did work for her. It worked well. I did not have to use hardly any powder. I will show you the powder that I did use, but it came in clutch for her. This again is the Mally Ever Color Poreless Face Defender. All right, so I took these Salon Perfect Wispies. I didn't know if she would want to do lashes or not, but because we used that Tower 28 mascara, she didn't need lashes. Her eyes looked so good without the lashes. So these did not get use, but they were packed just in case. All right, one size Turn Up the Base Versatile Powder Foundation in the shade Light 2N. I used this on myself, but I did not use it on her. I used this as like a finishing powder-ish. Like I like to take this on a sponge or a puff like this. This is actually the one I used. I'll take a little bit of the powder and then I will take it and just go right under my cheekbones with it, and it smooths that skin out, gives a tiny bit more coverage, and it defines your bronzer, contour, blush. It's a really good product. I love this. You can use it for so much more than that, but that's what I enjoy doing with the product. And again, this is just an Amazon powder puff that is white instead of black. All right, next up, the Benefit Fluff Up Brow Wax. I used this on her and I used it on myself. It's a really good brow wax. It fluffs your brow hairs up, and I just really have been enjoying this product. So that was definitely used. Then the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Again, this is something I use every day. It is a brow gel, a clear brow gel. And this formula, the brush, everything is just 10 out of 10. So good. And this was used on both of us. All right, next I'll pull this out. This is the Brow Trio Kit, something I use every single time I do my brows. I used it on myself, but I did not use it on her. My dog and cat are being a little rough. Anyway, I love this, but she did not. She likes a more natural look, so I just did very light brow hair strokes for her brows. Next up, my Tarte lash curlers. I used them for both of us. I let her do her own because I was afraid of pinching her or something, so she did it herself. Loved it. These are really good lash curlers, and she even spoke about how good it did. So those are awesome. All right, let's start pulling some of these brushes out. Let's talk about this. There's a lot, but let me start here. I took all three of these. I only used one, you can see. But the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection No. 7 brush. You can use this for foundation. You can use it for concealer. You can use it for setting your eye primer. You can do carving your brows, which I did yesterday with it. You can use it for bronzer, blush, cream blush. I mean, just so many things. I only used one because she did not end up needing much in the way of complexion. And so we only used this one. So I'll put that over here to be cleaned. But we do have two fresh. This one's my newest one. Obviously, you can tell a little difference in what they look like brand new versus used a few times. But hands down, one of the best brushes ever. Really, truly. All right, those are going back in my brush thing. All right, next up, I'll just grab this. The Huda Beauty pound cake, the Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I used this on myself. I did not use it on her. This is a wonderful, wonderful setting powder. And I love that it has this little stopper here, and it also has this really cool sifter. I just take this off, and then I will pour some of the powder into the cap and work from the cap instead of having to put anything into the sifter. That's just how I prefer it. But I do enjoy that so the powder doesn't go everywhere. Love it. All right. Next up, I have MAC Matte Lipstick in the shade 605 Honey Love. I use this for myself, but I did not use it on her. Love this lipstick. So good. All right, here's my little pencil sharpener. It's from Tweezerman. I got this off of QVC for, I don't know, $6, $7, and it's a really good pencil sharpener. So if you're looking for a good makeup eye pencil sharpener, this is a really good one. Put that back on my vanity. All right, next I have the MAC Studio Fix Mattifying 12-Hour Shine Control Primer. I used this on myself yesterday with in conjunction with the Prep and Prime, but love this. It really does a good job at controlling my oils. I honestly did not have to go in and touch up one time during the whole party, so really good. Next, I'll talk about the Hard Candy Chilling Wonder Powder. This is amazing. It says Sheer Envy Loose Powder Oil Control. I've been using this to set my under eyes recently, and what I do is I take just, let me find one. I'll take a little fluffy brush like this one, and I'll just gently put some of the powder in, knock it off in the cap, and then I'll just like press it lightly under my eye area like this. I'll just go, but usually I'll start from the outer eye and then pat towards the inner eye, because you don't want a lot of powder to cake up in the inner part of your eye where most of your texture and creases are. So anyway, I'll just like pat it under my eye, and then I'll let it sit there for a little while, and then I'll take, once I'm getting done with the rest of my makeup, I'll take this same brush and I'll just kind of swipe under there very gently like this. I'll just go and dust away any excess powder, and then I'll take a sponge, a clean sponge. Let me find one. I'll just show you. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. It's not clean, but I'll take a clean sponge and I'll just gently go under there and tap any creases away. And then I'll take the Amazon Puff and get a little bit more of the Wonder Powder, and then I'll just gently press a little bit more of that powder under the eye, and it's locked and loaded. You will not have creasing if you follow those steps. Like, it's so good. I've just really been enjoying that powder and doing that technique recently. It's so good. Now, I will say, I'm going to try that technique, like I just told you, of setting with some other powders and see if I can get the same effect. But so far, I have found the combination of the Bobbi Brown or the Lawless concealer lightly set with that hard candy powder is amazing. All right, moving on. Jaclyn Hill, the brightening and setting palette in the light medium range. It shows you all the shades here. I use this just about every day to set my eye primer. It's a really nice powder. You can use this to lightly set your under eyes as well. I don't know. I have found things that work for me, and that's just what I do. I did not use this powder on my sister. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I set her eye primer with this. And I also used the hard candy powder to lightly set her under eyes. But moving on, let's talk about her under eyes. What I did use, I used the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightening shade Light Medium. I used a little bit of this with a, with this. Let's show you. I used the Innisfree Green Tea Seed Hyaluronic Acid Eye Serum. I used this under her eyes and left a little bit of the product still fresh. Like, she tapped it in, but it was still a little bit wet under her eyes with this product. And then I put the Rare Beauty on top of it. And then the e.l.f. concealer pen that I showed you that's in my makeup bag. I used just a smidge of that, and her under eyes looked really, really good. They were not heavy, they were not cakey or creasy, and she was very happy with it. So that was what I used. I used this, a little bit of this, and then that e.l.f. pen that's in my makeup bag that I showed you earlier in the video, and it created a really nice, soft, subtle under eye. I also used this for myself. I've been really enjoying this. It just feels so nice under the eyes, and I really enjoy the product. And I did not use this on myself. I did not. But I love it. I do enjoy it. All right, next up, the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I used this the other day, but I did not use it for her or myself yesterday. But I got a little mini just to try it out because I didn't know if I would like it. I think I spent 100 Sephora points to get this little size. It's like, what, 4 mLs or something? Yeah, it's 4 mLs. But I did use this the other day with my Studio Secrets primer, the L'Oreal Studio Secrets, and it worked pretty well. I wasn't like overly surprised by it or thought it was amazing, but it worked well. All right, moving on. The Sephora Pro number 47 foundation brush. I did not use this for foundation. I use this for cream contour bronzer. So you can see it, and blush. I didn't use very much product because she didn't need or want that much product. So it's not extremely dirty or anything. You can barely tell I used it. But this shape works so well if you're just wanting to do very little contour and bronze. Like somebody that doesn't want much, this is the perfect brush to do that with because you have a lot of control. And it just works so well. All right, next up I have from Shop Miss A. It's the She brand. She is the brand, and it says cream, but this is a fluffy yet dense blending brush, and it's $1 on their website, and it's one of my favorite. I have, like, let me just show you real quick. Just from glancing over here in my brush container, look how many I have. So you'll see right away that they're all different. Like the shape and the size is different. But I've found that the ones that are longer brush hairs are more like a stippling brush, but the ones that are a little shorter are amazing blending brushes. So just to let you know that, I don't know if I've ever spoke about that on my channel, but like they're all different sizes, but they're all She cream brushes from Shop Miss A. So just know if you get one and it's a little bit taller, you might want to try to order another one and get one of the shorter ones too, so you have more variety in your collection, because the stippling brushes are more fluffy and they don't blend the eyeshadow as well, in my opinion, as the short, stubby ones do. These give a really good blend. So just to let you know, I did not use those brushes on her yesterday. All right, this is from Shop Miss A as well, the AOA Studio F14, and I like to use this brush for powder blush and powder bronzer, and I did use this yesterday on both of us. Next, this is actually something that belongs in my makeup bag. I actually usually always have this in my makeup bag. It's an e.l.f. angled contour brush, and I used this yesterday on her as well. All right, this one did not get used. It's the BK Beauty 110. It's the large concealer brush. I didn't use it yesterday. I thought I would for sure for her concealer, but we ended up just using my finger for her concealer, so that didn't get used. Next, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is her new formula of lip gloss in the shade Soft Pink. And I used this yesterday for myself, but first of all, you can see there when I pull it out. Let me show you so you can. It's stringy, so there's that. But it has a weird smell. Like when you first smell it, it kind of smells sweet, but then it starts to smell like weird and chemically, but like, I don't know. Let me know if you're watching this, if you ever tried her new formula, if you have ever smelled what I'm smelling. Just let me know. I'm curious. All right. So with that, I'll go ahead and show you this because it's new as well. The ABH Satin Lipstick Rouge. I don't know. Rouge something satin, and it's called Tease. But look how cute the packaging is. It's like a little bullet. I mean, literally, that's what it feels like. And this is the shade. So it's a beautiful nude, and I use this in conjunction with this. No, wait, I'm lying to you. I did that the other day. I used the lip gloss, but I did not use that lipstick yesterday. I used the MAC Honey Love. So this and MAC Honey Love went really well together. Looked really good. All right, next I took the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Nude Venus lip gloss. And I did not use it yesterday, but it's a beautiful nude lip gloss. And I like the formula. All right, I also took the Lunar Beauty Liquid Lip in Perfection. Beautiful packaging. Look at this. I mean, it's just stunning. And this shade is so pretty. It's a beautiful, dark, yet nude lip. So good. Did not get used yesterday, but it's one of my favorites. All right. This did get used yesterday. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Diffused Bronze Light. I have a little mini, and I used this as her bronzer, and I used it on myself. Really good. Next, the Pat McGrath Labs eyeshadow palette in Celestial Nirvana Nude Allure. This did not get used yesterday, but I took it as an option for her to pick what style she wanted to go for. But this was not it. This was not the path that she chose. We'll get to that. Next, I took the Tarte Precious Gems Amazonian Clay Cheek Palette. And it has a nice mirror. And I used these two blush shades on her. And it just gave her a little pop of color. And it looked really nice, in my opinion. All right. Next up, the Tarte C Breezy Cream Blush and Bronzer Palette. And you can see it's like really got a lot of fingerprints on it. The Seychelles, Pink Sky, and Peach Paradise. So what I did, it has a mirror. What I did is I used a little bit of this as her bronzer, like contour shade, and then I mixed these two blush shades, and I used these on myself as well. Beautiful cream products. They have a hint of a sheen to them on the skin, but what I like to do is I will use a brush and like pack the product onto the skin, get it where I want it, and then I'll take the Beauty Blender and then I'll press it in and make sure it's good and pressed in, and that kind of tames down the shine that you get from these products a little bit, but it's just beautiful, stunning. Hands down, one of my favorite cream formulas for blush and bronzer. All right, next up, the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. This is what we used for her eye look. So let me show you. Of course, it's got the mirror, but let's talk about what colors we used, and you can see which ones we used. So I used Blend, the shade right here in the crease. I smoked out in the outer corner with this smoke shade, and then I used this on the lash line as a liner. And then I used, oh, that's all I used. That's all I used from this palette. There's these three matte shades, okay? Natasha Denona Glam Palette, really, really good. And I just had a feeling that this would be what she would go for, so I'm glad I packed it. All right, next up, the ColourPop Nude Mood. I used this shade right here as a little bit more of a transition shade, and then these two under the brow bone. So those three shades got used, and I actually used this and this color for myself, for my eye look. So, and of course I used this shade too. But I'm glad I packed that. That's something that I pack just about everywhere I go, because these colors in here are a beautiful look on their own, Like this could be a transition shade. This could go all over the lid. This could go in the inner corner as a topper. These shades are perfect for blending your under your brow bone. These shades right here that have a little bit of sparkle in them, you can still use them as your crease shades. And then I like to smoke out the outer V with these two shades. And then, I mean, you've got it all. Hands down, pack this if you've got it for your kit. So good. I did use this brush yesterday, the Morphe like angled eyeliner brush. I used this to smoke out the lash line. And yeah, did use that. Let me put it back over here. All right, so I'm so glad that I packed this. The number 7 Airbrush Away Tinted Skin Perfector. It's a satin finish sheer coverage. I use this for myself as a primer. Now, on days when I'm doing very minimal makeup, I will use this and use that only, maybe with a little bit of powder to set it. But it says suitable for sensitive skin, and it says Airbrush Away Tinted Skin Perfector multitasking formula combines the benefits of skincare with sheer coverage for a satin finish. Best results, shake well before use, dot on skin, and blend with your fingers. That's exactly what I did. It looked so good and natural on her. It just perfected her skin. Didn't look like she was wearing anything. I'm so glad I picked that. It was really, really good. All right. So next up, I took the Becca Smashbox highlighter in Champagne Pop because I wasn't sure if she would want to go like glowy for her birthday or not. She did not, but I used this on myself. Next up, I took the Pat McGrath Labs Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Light. And I did use this to lightly set her under eyes. And I used it on myself as well. So it worked out really, really good. I actually used this yesterday to like lightly set in my T-zone. And it worked really well. So I just wanted to play around since I was already playing with makeup. All right. Next up is the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette in Bronze Bliss. This one I actually got to use yesterday on her. So we used the mattes from the Glam palette, the Natasha Denona, and we used the shimmers from Pat McGrath. So let me show you what I used. I used this shade in the outer part of her lid, and I'll swatch it for you right here. So that is the shade I used on the outer part of her lid. And then we almost used this one, but it was a little bit too much for her. She thought it would be too much, too like shiny. So we ended up using this shade right here in the inner part of her lid. So I don't know if you, let me show you what this one builds up to be. It's a lot. So she was like a little scared of that one. It's like really high shine and reflective. So we went with this little like topper shade and it looked beautiful. Her eye look turned out amazing. And I'm really glad that I packed these little palettes. Even though this one didn't get used, I had a feeling she would enjoy that. All right, next up, we've got the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. And it just says cocoa extract, peptides. Shake before use, add a drop or more to any Drunk Elephant serum, oil, or cream for a gorgeous glow and a potent dose of protective antioxidants and omega fatty acids. Okay, so she did not want to use this. I use this because my face does not get self-tanned. I like to mix this, and I mixed it with the Ole Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturizer. So I take a little bit of this moisturizer, and you can see I've already used most of it, but I just take some in my hand, and then I'll take 2 drops of this, mix it together, and then that gives my face a beautiful bronze glow. I like to do that and let it sit while I do my eyes, and then I'll move on to my complexion. But anyway, this is the Angie Hot and Flashy A504. It's a detailed crease blending brush, and I used this yesterday on both of us. Really good brush. I use that just about every day. And then this is the BK Beauty 212, which is the medium blender brush, and I did use this on both of us as well. It's a really, really good blending brush. It's super soft. Love these brushes. BK Beauty brushes are probably the best I've ever tried, to be honest. Next, we have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH35, and I used this on myself lightly, as you can see, but this brush is, not very good quality, to be honest with you guys. I just needed something to do a very light touch up in my routine, so that's why I used it. And I packed it for that reason, because I knew it could get used. This is a brush that actually came from a Profusion eyeshadow palette, and I love this brush for my brow bone, like right under my brow bone. I'll use the matte cream or white shades, and it just, I don't know, I found it works good. It's the right size, the right density to put a shadow under my brow bone. So yes, I did use that as well. And then we have the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils in the shade Anywhere Caffeine and the shade Wherever Walnut. I used Wherever Walnut on myself and did not use Anywhere Caffeine yesterday because my sister did not want any lip products whatsoever. Okay, your call. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, I showed her what this looked like and how it worked, and she thought it was going to be too dark for her skin, so she did not want to use it. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow shade 3, light medium. So here you can see, but what you don't understand about this product, most people wouldn't understand, is it does have a shade because it gives a tiny bit of a tint to your skin, but really once you blend it out, it just gives you glow. So it really, I think it scares some people, but once you blend it out, it's going to look just like a little bit of a glowy skin. And I think personally this would have helped with her dryness a little bit. Like I feel like it might have helped the situation a little bit, but she absolutely did not need it in the end because this product worked really well for her. But it was something I packed because I knew last time I did her makeup, I was faced with some challenges with the dry skin. So anyway, that's it, you guys. That's everything that I packed to do her makeup, to do my own makeup. Everything turned out great. She was very happy with her look. I'll put pictures again on here for you guys to see, but I thought it would be so fun to show you guys what you pack versus what you actually use, and then just to talk about these really cool products that I love. So that's what I wanted to do today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Wait, I'm about to go out with my outro without showing you everything. Of course, the all-nighter setting spray I used on myself. She didn't even want setting spray, which was mind-blowing, but she didn't need it. I took the Living Proof Full Dry Volume and Texture Spray because I did both of our hair, and that was very useful. It did for both of us. The Herbal Essence Body MV Volumizing Hairspray. This is my favorite hairspray in the whole wide world, and I used it on us both. And what else? I was going to tell you everything. Oh, the NYX Fringe Glam lashes I used on myself, did not use on her. And lastly, I'll just show you here, because I don't know if I've ever shared this on social media. Let me get it out here. But when I curl my hair, I only use this, and it's a old, can't even see the words on here anymore. I'm pretty sure it was Conair, but this is the curling iron I use. It's just an old style. I think it might be a 3/4 inch. Let me see if I can get it on here. Let's see. Yeah, Conair model. It's got the model numbers and stuff, but I don't see the measurements on here, but I'm pretty sure that it's a 3/4 inch barrel. I just use this to curl my hair, and I used it on her, and it worked just fine. So you can use a $10, or maybe, I don't know how much it is anymore, but roughly $10, $15 curling iron and get really good hair looks. So that's what I used. That's everything that I packed and used for her look and my look. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to quit rambling now. Bye.